Okay, so we were Russia, and what we planned on happening and what we thought would happen was we wanted to ally ourselves with England and Turkey and kind of give ourselves a fake alliance with Austria. The plan was for England to move in on Germany and for Austria to move in on Germany, and for us to move on Germany, and for us to keep Turkey neutral down south by itself. Once Germany would collapse, then we would use the help of Turkey that was neutral to take out Austria with the help of England. That didn't happen because we let Turkey grow to be too big, and come to find out, England was able to take Germany by themselves, and Austria kind of just remained there, and it allowed Turkey to move in on us, and we kind of were blindsided with no help.
Yeah, so like what he was saying, we planned on using a fake alliance with Austria, so having them help us take out Germany, and then we were potentially going to take out Austria and Germany, and so that we could occupy all of those supply centers. We were looking to just obtain the maximum amount of supply centers we could so that we could get the best grade. And we didn't want Turkey to interfere because we knew that they had potential to build such a big army, and that could be a huge threat to us. So we wanted them to sort of hold off. We were telling them that we were waiting, and we wanted to wipe out those regions and build our army up through the supply centers that we had already gotten, and then we were going to have to deal with Turkey whether or not we wanted to attack them or keep that alliance with them. So that's what was supposed to happen.
Yeah, and part of the reason why I believe if things don't go the way they do is, you would bounce your ideas off to other group members from different countries, and instead of that group member taking the initiative to go in depth detail with their group or what the plan is, they kind of just throw the idea out there. The idea doesn't really resonate well with the group, and because of that, the whole plan kind of doesn't catch fire because of it, and it causes for a lack of moves and a lot of vulnerability, which is why I believe Turkey was able to take so much land from our country, because we didn't have the adequate support in which we informed Austria to help us with.
All right. So what actually happened is that Austria took over Italy, and so they got a couple of supply centers, built a couple of armies, got bigger, whatever, and we let Turkey sit down there in their neutral region for a couple turns, and because of that, no one was attacking them. Austria knew that they were outnumbered and they couldn't take on Turkey without our support, and so Turkey was not threatened by any country. They weren't being attacked or pursued, and so they were able to sort of sit back and wait for those build phases and keep on building more and more armies. And while they were doing that, Austria was taking out Italy, and Germany was being taken out by England and France collectively. And so what we shouldn't have let Turkey progress into such a big army, because what actually happened is that once they became such a big army, we didn't have enough troops to be able to stop them whenever they started to invade our region. We weren't able to fight back, or we weren't able to gain Austria's support because they had already lost trust in us, and Turkey was pretty much breezed right through our country and easily took out most of our armies. We weren't able to resupply fast enough.
Yeah, and actually at the peak of Turkey's build process, they actually were ready to take on Austria, and they wanted us to go in on it. But being that Germany hadn't fully been taken out yet, we were afraid that we needed Austria to help put pressure on Germany with ourselves as well. Because if not, and we helped Turkey attack Austria, then it would have just been a mess in the middle of Europe, and no country would have been taken out. In hindsight, that wasn't the case because England single-handedly was able to do it on its own, and Germany pushed France back into Spain while they had the time to do so. And as England was took over Germany and started making its way to Austria, it completely led us vulnerable for Turkey to move in. And one thing I'm sure we can do different is we definitely would have allied ourselves with Turkey over Austria. And
yeah, we wanted to form that. What we should have done is form that initial alliance with Turkey, and not sort of kept them hanging on a couple strings and allowing them to build up their armies. Because once we let them build up so many armies and we didn't really carry out the orders that we were saying, as he was saying, countries sometimes form alliances and they have misconceptions and other ideas and whatnot, and so our agenda is completely deferred. And what we should have done is we should have formed a strategic with Turkey, said, hey, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take out Austria, move west. You can have these amount of supply centers in these countries. We can have these. And because both of us were such a big force and we occupied the entire south and eastern region, so we'd have been able to easily sweep across the middle portion of the map and take out those countries. So we sort of made of our mistake with allying with the wrong country. If we would have been able to go back, we probably wouldn't have formed that alliance with Austria, or we wouldn't have actually stuck to what we said we were going to do. We probably would have just taken out their entire region with Turkey so that we were able to get more supply centers and sort of expand our army, because we sort of got landlocked in our own little region.
Yeah, so I mean, tactically, I do believe we had good intentions, and I think that it was a decent idea. But if we were to do it all over again, I don't know if we would technically choose peace over war, but I think we would definitely choose groups wiser and have a simpler plan and execute things a lot more simply, and not try to get so many parties involved, conflicting interests, because like I said, the whole trying to keep Turkey happy, keep Austria blinded by what's going on, and making sure England's going through with their plans. We kind of got caught up in everyone else's drama, whereas we could have been moving troops and not missing out on build phases ourselves. So I think that's one thing we would have changed specifically.
Yeah, and the reason that there was a difference between what we had done in the last game and then what we had done this game, first of all, difference was we were Germany last game, we were Russia this game. It's a totally different aspect of the game. Being as Germany, you're sort of bordered by France, Austria, and Russia, and so you don't know which countries are going to attack you, or if two countries are going to team up and easily be able to sweep you out of your region. And so our strategic there was to sort of form allies with everyone that we could, form allies with England, France, Russia, everyone, so that we were able to sustain our region. And we did a pretty good job of doing that. We didn't necessarily take out many other countries and obtain new supply centers and land, but we did a really good job of sort of holding our own and just taking those, actually articulating those alliances so that we were able to survive throughout the entirety of the game.
Yeah, that's good.